Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Nessa Talk. Well, I'm going to talk about mental health and what I noticed after the 2 years I lost my daughter to suicide. And so this channel is really geared to that. I did post something last week, but it didn't have anything to do with what the channel was really all about, but it is about struggles, right? So that was actually a struggle too. So that's why I did it. But anyway, today I'm going to talk. My title is It Gets Easier, yes. And I'm not going to smile too much because, I went, and this is an off note. I went to the dentist and they said I had chipped my teeth because I chipped it or in some doggone barbecue. Well, but anyway, that's another issue. But I chipped my teeth and then they were supposed to fix it. Man, now they made this thing longer than the other. So now I'm looking, when I do these posts, I'm like, what in the world? So I have to go back to the dentist and tell them, hey, listen, you have to fix this teeth again. So if you see this teeth now you're going to be noticing it because I said it, right? Right. But anywho, let me go on. So I want to tell you that it gets easier. For those who don't know what I am talking about, and if you look at my other videos, you'll notice, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I lost my daughter in 2019, June 19th, 2019. And I lost her to suicide. She hung herself in the bedroom of this house, in her bedroom, and I found her. And so during the first stages of me losing her, it was a hard time. It was so hard. But I kind of surrounded myself with people who actually cared and who actually was listening to me. And I think that's what I want to say. It's been 2 years later now. And so I noticed that it does get easier. It does. You don't forget about your loved one. You still remember her. There are going to be, days where you cry, and I still do. Those are certain times of the year, or, like a birthday or the day, I lost her, just certain times or moments, or somebody talking about her, or talking about the school, and I'll remember her, or a car. So there are certain things that will trigger you to remember your loved ones. However, it does get easier because I think it matters how you started off. Like, once you lose your loved one, you have to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, people who are in that same group. And no one wants to be a part of that type of group, right? I did not. I want to be honest. I was like, I am not trying to be a part of this group, you guys. Like, it's almost like the AA meetings. If you go there, I watched it on TV, but if you go there, they don't want to admit, what they have. So it's like, I don't want to admit that I have lost someone to suicide, because it's so many different emotions that go into your mind. Like, could I have stopped it? Could, this have happened? It's so much stuff. So no one wants to really be a part of that. It's like someone who has cancer, no one wants to be a part of that. Who wants to say, okay, I'm a part of that group? No one. But you know what? I found that is in those groups. That's where you can find support. That's where you can find someone who understands what you are going through and what you're telling them. They're not going to judge you based on what you're saying or think in the back of their mind, well, this person did this, or this person was this type of person, or parent, or, a guardian. They're not going to do that. They understand. And so it's in those groups that you find a sense of peace. Of course, through God, you find peace. And I'm going to always push him out. But it's also in those groups. It's in those people who understand. And not everybody going to want to hear your story. Not everybody going to want to listen. They may listen for a little bit, but they can't relate until they have lost one. Then they can say, wow, I understand. But until then, they won't be able to relate. And so, but that's okay. You go somewhere else and you tell somebody else who is listening. They may not understand that's how you are, releasing that pain. That's how you're able to heal. They don't understand that. And so because of that, sometimes you can shut that inside and you won't tell nobody. And that's the worst thing you can do. So you have to be able to release, and you have to be able to share those experiences with other people and tell people about your loved one. Tell them what that loved one was about and what they did. That's how I was able to keep myself up. That's how I was able to still have a smile upon my face. I share her crazy moments. I share her good moments and her bad moments. I'm just like, girl, this girl was like, or sometimes I say, oh my goodness, she did this and she was just so sweet. But then, that's how she was. And so those support groups really do help. They help you. It doesn't seem like it, but it does. And so, but I just wanted to come on here and tell you that it gets easier. And I can say that it gets easier because for me, it has gotten easy. It has gotten easier. It's not that I don't remember her, because I do. It's not that I don't love her or I forget her, because I don't have her pictures up, so I do remember her. But what I have found to be true was that every time I help someone else who's going through what I'm going through, that was a healing for me. Every time I shared my story with someone else, that was a healing. That was a healing process for me. I was going through that healing process. That was helping me, and I didn't know it. Every time I gave of myself, that helped me. And so even though it may be hard, it may be easy just to be by yourself and alienate yourself and not talk to no one else, and you don't want to hear about nobody else's child, what they're doing. You don't want to hear about nobody else's, victories. Sometimes you don't. I understand you don't. You lost your loved ones. Why would you want to hear about someone else's loved one who's still around? And, but you know what? That's still going to help, because you can be able to celebrate somebody else's success. And when you celebrate somebody else's success and you celebrate somebody else's victories, that will help you in the long run. And then you will find you will have new victories and new successes. New things will happen to you and new things will come, right? And so you'll be able to enjoy and be able to smile. God cares for you. He wants what's best for you. He wants to know that you are okay. And I know many of us have lost loved ones, but my computer's doing this crazy thing again where it's skipping, so I'm going to get off this computer really fast because I don't want to take this again. It's my second time. But God loves you. Just remember that He cares about you. He's concerned about you, and it does get easier. God loves you, so all you have to do is believe it. All right, bye for now. Bye-bye.